Good morning. Greetings to all of you from Cartagena, Colombia. My name is Angélica Monterrosa. I'm a general practitioner and master's student in clinical epidemiology. I belong to the research group Salud de la Mujer from Cartagena, Colombia. Thanks for watching this conference titled Prevalence of Bad Sleeping in Climateric Women from the Colombian Caribbean, according to the presence of feelings of panic. Assessment using the Pittsburugh Sleep Quality Index. Menopause is a physiological stage of woman's life cycle with many physical, emotional, hormonal, and psychological changes. That's why these changes, all menopausal symptoms, and quality of life characteristics must be assessed in all climacteric women. This evaluation should also include sleeping characteristics, feelings of panic, anxiety, or inner restlessness. Feelings of panic are defined as sudden, strong feelings of fear and anxiety that prevent reasonable thought, action, and calmly behave. So the aim of the study was to estimate the prevalence of bad sleeping and sleep components in climacteric women according to the presence of feelings of panic. The design was a cross-sectional study which belonged to the research project CABIMEC. That means quality of life in menopause and Colombian ethnic groups. The inclusion criteria were women of 40 to 59 years living in the Colombian Caribbean in the city of Cartagena, who decided to participate voluntarily and signed informed consent. They were surveyed in their homes by pollsters. A logistic regression was performed in which quality of sleep was the dependent variable and sociodemographic characteristics adjusted to the existence of feelings of panic, the independent variables. Quantitative variables were analyzed by mean and standard deviations, and qualitative variables by absolute values and percentages. This study was approved by the Ethics Committee. A p-value below 0.05 was considered statistically significant, and the statistical analysis was carried out with EpiInfo. The applied questionnaire was divided into three sections. The first one were questions about sociodemographic characteristics, the second was the menopause rating scale, and the last one, the Pittsburugh Sleep Quality Index. Here we can see the different domains of the Pittsburugh Sleep Quality Index, which ask about sleep quality, sleep latency, sleep duration, sleep efficiency, sleep disturbance, sleep medication, and daytime sleep dysfunction. A global score of 5 or greater means poor sleep quality. And from the menopause rating scale, we only use question number 6, which asks about the presence of anxiety that can also be called inner restlessness or feeling panicky. So we divided the surveyed population into two groups. First one, women with anxiety, were those who answered positively to this question, and the other group were women without anxiety. This table shows the sociodemographic characteristics. In total, 413 women were included. Of those, 55 or the 13.3% answered yes to the sixth question of the menopause rating scale, which means that they feel panicky. On the contrary, 358 or the 86% didn't have panic or anxiety. 10% of the group of women with feelings of panic were obese. 7 out of 100 of this same group had depression, and 7% were treated with hormone therapy. On the other side, women without feelings of panic were older than women without panic, but the difference wasn't statistically significant. 50 years old compared with 49 years old, respectively. Also, those with feelings of panic practiced aerobic exercise in greater proportion, 34% versus 18% of the women with anxiety, and they smoked almost 3 times more. All this difference between both groups were statistically significant. Variables such as coffee consumption, arterial hypertension, and menopausal state didn't show statistically significant difference between both groups. Here we present the average score of each component and global score of the Pittsburugh scale in the total population and according the existence of panic or not. The first column shows the 7 components of the scale. We identify that the group of women with feelings of panic obtained higher score in each domain and the difference was significant compared to the other group except for sleep latency. The lower score was obtained in the domain about sleep efficiency and the highest score was in the domain of sleep quality in both groups. The global punctuation for those with panic was 6.9 and for the group of women without panic was 4.4. In the table at the top of the slide, the population was classified according to the score on the Pittsburugh scale and the feeling of panic. Good sleepers were defined as those with a score lower than 5 in the scale, so 61% of women who didn't feel panicky were good sleepers, as well as 25% of women with panic. On the other hand, bad sleepers were considered those who scored 5 or greater in the Pittsburugh scale. 3 out of 10 without feelings of panic were bad sleepers, and 7 out of 10, more than a half, of women with panic were bad sleepers. Both differences were statistically significant. And on the table at the bottom of the slide, in the non-adjusted logistic regression, the feelings of panic were associated 3.3 times with bad sleeping, and coffee consumption associated twice. Aerobic exercise showed no association with bad sleeping. Finally, we conclude that in a group of climateric women from the Colombian Caribbean, 4 out of 10 were bad sleepers from the total of the population surveyed. 7 out of 10 with feelings of panic were bad sleepers, and feelings of panic in climateric is associated 3 times with bad sleep. This is the website of our research group, which has been promoting the study of women's health in the last 20 years. Therefore, the trajectory has been extensive and we have had the opportunity to investigate and participate in national and international events. This photo shows members of different generations of the research group. Thank you very much.